Welcome back to Reading Comments, a YouTube series where I read comments. Today we're talking about Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. As always, we're going to read some of the top comments, which are usually witty, funny, smart, humorous. And then we're also going to sort by new and just see what we get, because it is a hot disaster when you sort by new on YouTube comments. Mr. No Name says this: everyone talking about Kendrick's breath control, but I'm more impressed by the fact he remembered to censor all the parts. It would be so easy to slip up. So Kendrick isn't vulgar for vulgarity's sake, but there is a lot of cursing in his music. And the fact that he didn't slip one time when he wasn't lip syncing is actually pretty incredible with the amount of cuss words that are in the music. So props to him for basically having to relearn his own songs in a clean way. So this comment, same thing. How TF was he able to self-censor so flawlessly? Not a single slip up for 13 minutes straight. I could never. In fact, this commenter actually couldn't even do it in the comment, because they said how TF. They couldn't even self-censor the first sentence that they said. So yeah, you definitely wouldn't be able to do that. Maybe that's why he's doing the halftime show and you're not. Jark says, a diss track being a #1 hit record, winning 5 Grammys, and being performed on the Super Bowl to everyone singing along is the most insane thing I've ever seen in hip hop. Now, as somebody who is very well versed in hip hop, and by that I mean not at all, it actually is really crazy that you have a song calling out another rapper for being a pedophile, and when the lyric says you're trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor, and the entire stadium at the Super Bowl sings out a lyric together about Drake being a pedophile. That's crazy. That's insane that this is happening in culture right now. Not to mention all the Grammys, not to mention being #1. It is crazy that any diss track of another human being could be that popular that the whole culture would sing along to it at a Super Bowl. Sweet child, no one's mentioning how Kendrick's performance views on YouTube passed last year's by Usher in 48 hours. Kendrick is a legend. To surpass the total views that Usher got in 48 hours is really impressive. But I have a feeling that a lot of it had to do with the fact that he actually decided to perform the diss track live at the Super Bowl. I mean, that's completely insane. Stepbro I'm Stuck says, producers are often overlooked. Love how Kendrick has made sure Mustard gets his shine too. Yeah, that was actually really cool that Mustard was brought out, especially when everybody's yelling, Mustard! No joke, I have an almost 2-year-old son, and at the end of this halftime show, he looked me dead in the eyes, and he goes like this, Masa. And he's been doing that for the last couple days. He'll just look at me and go, Masa. It's incredible. I love it. I'm so proud of my son. Okay, now we're gonna sort by newest, because that is just a disaster in the YouTube comments. We're sure to come across something very interesting, something very unique. So let's sort by newest. And already, 46 seconds ago, Brittany Johnson said this: if he would have did, first of all, great grammar, if he would have did poetic justice and brought out the Miss Janet Jackson, girl, cry, 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 heart, 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 heart. I've been waiting for someone to bring her back to that Super Bowl stage. There's a reason nobody has brought her back to that Super Bowl stage. And I'll give you one hint. It's because she's completely irrelevant. Noxabillion says, minor. Now, YouTube Comments thinks that this is a mistranslation. And so there's a button that says translate to English. And if you click that, it says minor with 2 less R's. A user named Bong Schlong says this: Dark Bramble caused me so much thasiophobia I couldn't finish the game. This has literally not happened in any game before. I would still recommend it. I really loved the feelings it gave me. Bong Schlong, this is a comment you're leaving on a halftime performance. So I think you were in the wrong comment section. Maybe stop hitting that bong and find the video that you meant to comment on instead. Worst halftime show ever, so boring. And listen, I mean, chances are if you're watching this, you don't think that, but maybe you do. And let me just again make a pitch to you. If you thought it was boring, maybe you're not familiar with Kendrick's music, And I would just encourage you that unlike most rappers, there is actual substance to what he's saying. You might disagree with it, but what you're gonna find is unlike most rappers, including Drake, Kendrick actually has some weight in what he's saying. Chloe says this, who else ships Kendrick and SZA because I do? Well, I can tell you one person who probably doesn't ship them, and that is Kendrick's fiance. She is probably not on board with Kendrick and SZA being an item. Mr. Doug Fresh 420 says, come on NFL, do better. I'm just gonna go ahead and say who I think somebody named Mr. Doug Fresh 420 would have rather had on stage than Kendrick Lamar. And I have to say, I think it is probably Jelly Roll. Abakushi says this, dude wearing chick pants, just saying. Yeah, this is the only thing that I really don't like about Kendrick's performance is the resurgence of 90s clothing makes no sense to me whatsoever. You can see it happening in the youngins, but I wish Kendrick wouldn't embrace it. I didn't like those chick pants either. This commenter is a bot, and something that I've noticed as I've been doing these is when you get a video #1 on trending, you want to keep it there, and you start paying bots to comment. We saw this last week with Fantastic Four doing this, but it's not just Marvel, it's whoever's propagating this. So I don't know if it's Apple Music, I don't know if it's the NFL, I don't know if it's Kendrick's team, but you hear things like, that was exactly what I needed, thanks. Like, that's not a real comment. What do you mean you needed? It's like, this is perfect, thank you. This is a Super Bowl halftime performance. All right, we'll end on this one. The only thing this show was missing was fireworks. That's it, that's all. Everything else was fire. I love that. I mean, that is an incredible opinion to think, listen, everything was perfect. I loved the music, I loved the dancing, I loved the choreography, I loved the cinematography. The only thing this was missing, fireworks. Like it's the 4th of July or something. If you're still watching this, I love you more than that last guy loved fireworks, so that's quite a bit. Thank you for watching. I will see you next Friday.